Were you one of those people who didn't like Bella Ramsey as Ellie? Well, congratulations, you got what you wanted. She's out. Not kinda out. She's practically gone for the next 2 years. And that messy finale? Yeah, let's talk about it. Everything got cut right at the peak. We don't know who shot who survived, or what's next. Cliffhanger? Maybe. But let's be honest. Did that feel like suspense? Or just lazy storytelling stretched for another season? Season 2 of The Last of Us sparked mixed reactions from audiences. While critics praised the season with a 93% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, the audience score dropped to just 38%, highlighting a major disconnect between professional reviews and fan reception. Meanwhile, in a fan poll on The Ringer, a viewer wrote, "Is the next episode coming out next week? Because it sure felt like they were setting up a battle for the last hour." Oh wait, that was the finale? These comments reflect the growing confusion and dissatisfaction among fans, especially regarding the rushed, ambiguous ending and the long wait for any real closure. The big question now is, can Season 3 win back the trust of its audience? Or is it already too late? If you want to know who shot who, or whether Ellie's even alive after that chaotic finale, well, you'll need to wait at least 2 or 3 years. Yep, that's how long it'll likely take for Season 3 to show up. And when it finally arrives, don't get too excited. Because it's not even about Ellie. The showrunners have made it pretty clear. Season 3 will center almost entirely on Abby, her past in Seattle, her time with Isaac, and how she emotionally copes with whatever. So yeah, for all of you who kept saying, "We don't like Ellie anymore," congrats, she's gone. Even Bella Ramsey confirmed in interviews that her role in the next season will be limited. And don't forget, Season 2 only covered half of the game's story, so you'll probably have to wait until Season 4, maybe 2029 or 2030, to actually find out how Ellie's story ends. Until then, enjoy the flashbacks. But wait, why are we stuck in Abby's world for an entire season when Ellie's story literally just left us hanging? Well, it's not random. It's part of a very deliberate and very risky narrative structure pulled straight from the game. In The Last of Us Part 2, the story famously shifts halfway through. You play as Ellie, then suddenly, it's all about Abby. The showrunners are following that structure, but instead of flipping halfway through a season, they're stretching it across multiple years. Yes, we're getting a full season of Abby. Backstory, trauma, inner conflict, flashbacks with Isaac, battles with the Seraphites, the whole deal. It's meant to give her depth, to make us empathize, to make us say, hey, maybe she's not the villain after all. That's ambitious, especially when the last thing we saw was her pointing a gun at Ellie's face. And here's where it gets even messier. Because they're telling this story over multiple seasons, we probably won't return to Ellie's timeline until Season 4. That's not just a time jump in the story, that's a real-time multi-year wait for closure. So now you've got 2 parallel stories, told years apart. Let's not forget the core message behind all this. The cycle of violence. That's what the game, and now the show, is really about. You hurt me, I hurt you. You killed my dad, I kill your friend. Then your friend kills me, and on and on and on. The genius, and the tragedy of The Last of Us Part 2 is that it doesn't glorify revenge. It makes you sit in it. Feel the rot. Watch how it eats away at both Abby and Ellie until neither of them knows who they are anymore. And yet, just when Ellie chooses to break that cycle, to not kill Abby on that beach, we get cut off. We don't get to see the healing. We don't get to see what that choice means. Because now we're jumping back in time to see why Abby did what she did. And maybe that's the point. Maybe the showrunners want us to understand that no one is born a villain. That everyone's stuck in this chain, unless one person, one time says, that's enough. But the big question is, will we still care by the time we get there? Or will we still care about Ellie's journey in 2, maybe 5 years? Will the emotional weight still hit the same when we've spent an entire season watching someone else suffer, in a timeline that's already behind? Maybe. Or maybe by trying to stretch this story out for dramatic effect, the showrunners are risking the very thing that made it special. Urgency, raw emotion, pain that feels close. And if that's gone, then all we'll have left is a beautifully filmed cycle of revenge, with no heart in sight. Let's be real. The Last of Us Season 2 didn't just drop the ball, it fumbled it, kicked it into the ocean, and told us we'll get it back in 5 years. The numbers say it all. Finale viewership dropped to just 3.7 million, down from 8.2 million for Season 1's finale. A brutal 55% decline. On Rotten Tomatoes, the audience score sits at a harsh 38%. IMDb ratings dipped from the 9.0 plus highs of Season 1 to a middling 7.4 average this season. And yet, the showrunners are so confident in their vision, they're telling fans, "Trust us, we'll finish the story, eventually. But first, a whole season of Abby." Cool. So, let me get this straight. You end the season on a massive cliffhanger, make us wait 2 to 3 years for a follow-up, and then spend that entire next season not following up. If you think millions of fans are going to stick around for a plot they're already struggling to care about, that's not confidence. That's delusion. What do you think? Did Season 2 leave you emotionally wrecked? Or just confused and annoyed? Do you think Abby deserves a whole season? And do you trust the show to bring Ellie back in a way that feels earned? If you like this, hit like and subscribe. So when the next orange drops, you'll be the first to catch it.